This is Sonya Dunbar with Suave and Sassy Seniors with Sonya. And I'm so excited to be bringing you another episode of Suave and Sassy Seniors with Sonya. And today we have an amazing senior. Now, I want to send out a disclaimer. She don't look like no senior, and she's leveling up. She has so much to share. One, she's a woman of God. Two, she's an entrepreneur where has her own business providing care for seniors. Now, I don't want to give a lot of her information away because I want her to explain it to herself for herself. But I want to come and tell you all why we're doing this show. We're doing this show because we want to highlight seniors that are exceeding and doing great things. Just because we age don't mean we fade. As we get older, we have more wisdom and we don't make a lot of mistakes that we used to make. And we know how to avoid a lot of things. And hopefully we grow up and just not grow old. So I strive to bring quality aging adults on our show to share some of their wisdom. And today you guys are in for a big treat. This lady's going to let us know how you could start your own journey in entrepreneurship. And there's not an age limit on God. So let me bring her in and let her introduce herself. And here we go. I love powerful women. Hello, Mrs. Jenkins Meeks. How are you?
I am excellent, Sonia. Hello, 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 and hello to everyone out there.
Well, Mrs. Jenkins Meeks, first of all, I want to tell you, you look stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I
God has been
love
gracious.
I love that hair thing you got going on. What's up with that?
You know what? White hair has been my thing for quite a few years, and I would have the short hair, and I'd have different types of styles. When I moved to Florida, it was very difficult to maintain the hairstyles that I had. So I said, okay, we've got to go to braids. But finding the white hair was the issue. I did, and so that this is my signature.
So you actually get your hair braided with white hair?
I do. I
I
do.
love it. You see my little
I'm
white
loving the
hair.
streak. I'm loving the streak. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sassy.
Listen, you look stunning. So listen, Mrs. Carolyn, you said I can call you Carolyn.
Just call me Carolyn. Yes.
Now, you said you moved to Jacksonville. So where were you before you came
Mhm.
to Jacksonville, Florida?
I was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in a suburb of Philadelphia and Upper Darby, PA. That's where I'm originally from. About a few years ago, I moved to Honolulu, Hawaii. I had visited there several times, vacationed there. We had family reunions there, and I have a catering company also. And I was going there. I was transitioning because I was going to open a restaurant. So moved to Hawaii. I have one daughter and a couple of grandkings, and I left everything, went there, but God had a totally different plan. That's where I met my husband,
Oh, so
and
wait a minute. Now, you can't drop that on us right here. So you left where you were living, moved
yes,
to Hawaii, which people feel is overseas because it is, even though it's a part
yeah,
of
yes,
America. That's
that's
far.
all.
You can't drive there. So I'm just gonna
No,
put it.
you
You can't
cannot.
drive there. You can't
No,
just
no, no,
move
no, no.
overnight there. So
No,
you
baby, get your ticket ready.
you went there a single woman and you met your
Yes,
king.
yes, absolutely, totally. My life is made up of so many different things. I sing professionally. That's one thing. That's a gift God has given me. So I was traveling a lot around the world and singing gospel, and uh, I met my husband, and I went there. I was single. Had to leave and go to Paris and Switzerland, do some singing. Came back, and I don't know. God it has a very unique sense of humor. I always tell people God has a comedy club in heaven. Yeah, he does. He does. He's got a comedy club. So because I always said because I was older, I didn't get married until I was 55.
That was your
So
first marriage at
my
55?
first marriage, 55. I don't know. He just had other plans, and I always said, Lord, if I must get married, I only have two requests. I don't want to marry a preacher because I come from a family of preachers, and I don't want to marry a musician. Those were my things. Well, he didn't hit
Okay,
my
so let me.
husband.
I don't want to cut you off, but we got to let
Oh,
women
go
know
right
here.
ahead.
Women, if you're not married or if you've been married before and you divorced,
Oh,
this lady, Mrs. Jenkins Meek, she got married at 55. So let's stop putting age, let's stop putting
don't do
time,
it.
let's stop
Don't do it.
comparing our lives to someone else's life. Just because somebody was married before they were 30 or married before they're 40, that's their story. Let's stop
That's their
making other
story.
people's story our story. How about that?
That's right. That's
Let them
right.
have
That's
their
right.
own story and let us have our, because you know some women are not married to be ready to be married at 30. Some people not
Mhm.
ready to be remarried at 40. So don't
That's right.
compare your life to anybody else's life. Go ahead, Miss Jenkins Meeks, tell us of your story.
Yes, I want to encourage those singles out there. Listen, if you really believe that God knows the plans that He has for you, and you have to understand that age is not even in the dynamics of God, and so He knows when we're ready. Not only when we're ready, He knows when the partner is ready. He knows when the spouse is ready. So you just have to trust Him, because this whole thing with me was about trust. And because I've been single so long, I tell people that it was that S word that I didn't like so much. I thought it was a curse word called submit. And I was like, nah.
Wait a minute. uh, that's a whole nother topic. Talk about submission. Submission
but
to
I
who?
found but I found that when you are with the person that God has actually chosen for you to be in, submission is not a bad thing. It's just another part of the marital journey. It is so easy to do. It's not like you're giving up your rights. It's not giving up who you are and all that. No, not that at all. So I say to women, don't give up. Do not give up. Do you until God says it's time for you to come and be joined together. Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
that's brave because my story is I divorced at 40.
Ah,
Yeah, so I was like, I was so depressed. I was like, I'll never remarry. I
yes.
divorced the man I had been married to for almost 21 years, my kid's dad. What God
Mhm.
has for you is for you. And I tell women, just like Mrs. Miss Carolyn was saying, just be open and hear what God says. Now, we don't want to preach on here because this is not a
No, we
church
don't.
service.
No, we don't.
But
No,
I,
we don't.
what
We
I,
just
I
want
want
to.
to pivot here. I want to pivot. I want to pivot
Okay.
to your entrepreneur journey. I want to talk
Hmm.
about, because you have a business where you are
Yes.
actually serving seniors in the community. And tell us how that got started.
Well, about I've always loved serving. That's number one. I grew up in an era where I was just around older people, and they sowed into you and sowed into the future and into the community. And about 30, 35 years ago, I was working in a corporate job, and I just really wanted to do something where I could assist them, seniors, and I wanted to do a service like a shuttle service. And it did not happen. Obviously, it did not happen then. But when we moved to Jacksonville in 2 years ago, I saw how many people here as seniors really needed attention. Seniors feel that sometimes that they are just not thought of, they're not loved, and our commitment is to make sure that they know that they are precious. And our mantra with Meekins Senior Shuttle is, "We drive, you thrive," and
Wait
it
a minute.
is.
Don't drop that. Don't drop that no comment on that. Say that again, Ladybug. You can't just
we
drop that.
we drive, you thrive. So that means that you can feel comfortable with us because we actually do have a perfect red carpet treatment that we give to our seniors, and they can rest assured that we're going to take care of them. Their children or caregivers can rest assured that when they enter one of our cars, that they are going to be treated like royalty, and that we get them to wherever they need to go, and they have a sense of purpose. See, that's the thing. As you said, I am a senior. In a couple of months, I'm going to be 69. So I
Wow, you look
know,
amazing.
thank you, darling, thank you. But I know what it means to feel like sometimes you're aging, and wow, I don't want to depend on this one. You want to keep that sense of independence. You don't want, but this is what we do, and that's how I came to this journey, and it actually came to fruition here in Jacksonville.
Now, Mrs. Meeks, how old were
Mhm.
you when you started your own business?
Wow. So I had, let's see, I started my own businesses. I think my first one was my catering company. And so that has to have been, which I still have, and that is probably about 22 years ago. And I have been in several multi marketing businesses, that type of thing. So this is an extension, a totally new era for me, and an area that I am not familiar with at all. The shuttle business, the transportation service, and I was like, okay, this is really what we're going to do right now. This is just, however, when I found out the need, and when I found out that it was going to bring me so much joy, because you can't do anything like this or even a business of your own for money, just for money. That's not it. Because see, if you do it right, Sonia, the money is going to come. It is. But you have to invest yourself and of yourself and know that you are bringing a service, or you're bringing selling goods to people that are really going to appreciate that. The money is not what drives me. It's the pleasure and that I bring to the seniors. It's the smile that I bring to the seniors. It's knowing that we have done something today to make sure that they are doing what they needed to do today.
That's amazing. So you've been in business 2 years now.
This particular business did not start until April of this year.
Wow. So, Mrs.
Renew.
Carolyn, you started a new business at
Yes.
69, 68.
9. Yes, yes, yes.
That so
68.
many people will be so afraid. So if
Hmm.
you're in the audience and if you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, if you're
Yes.
sitting on something, waiting on something, let me tell you something. Time don't wait on nobody. Time gonna keep ticking. So the time to start is now. Mrs. Meek, she found her why, and she found something she loves to do, and she just jumped
Hmm.
out and did it. You know,
Hmm.
it's nothing to do but to do it. And if you don't, if God forbid it is not successful, at least you tried and you won't live with regrets. Is that right, Mrs. Meeks?
That's exactly right. The failure is not that the company did not thrive. The failure is when we don't try
Ooh, that's
and see
good.
if it's going to thrive. See, that's where the failure lies.
That's
Hmm.
amazing. And that's such a point because so many people, you say the failure lies in not trying, because
Yes.
every experience is a learning experience. So even if this business is not successful, you know
Hmm.
what not to do in your next business. So, Mrs.
Exactly.
Meeks, you say
Hmm.
that you treat the elders when they get in your car, they get a royal treatment. So what
Hmm.
makes your business any different from like a shuttle, a cab, or Uber? What do you do that's the creme de la creme or the creme de la creme or whatever people call it? What do you do?
Creme de la creme. Yeah, the
The
creme
creme
de
de
la
la
creme.
creme, yeah.
Listen, there are many, many, many successful transportation companies. But what sets us apart, as I said before, is our red carpet experience. Now, in a perfect world, we would, our business, we would actually roll out a red carpet for them when they are entering, but we cannot do that, but we can treat them with exceptional service. We are so much in need of that. When I talk to our seniors and to even other companies that provide transportation, The one thing that I hear all of the time is that services are not reliable, and they keep our seniors waiting. And when they finally pick them up, they are maybe have had a bad day and they are grouchy and they're no, 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 no. That is not the way we operate. So we care about our seniors, uh, just not as just a person who is traveling with us, but they are precious cargo. They are precious cargo. So that makes us different. How we speak to them, how we treat them, how we wait for them, how we go to the door at their door, make sure that they're entering into our vehicle safely, talking to them, letting them know that, we're not here to just get another fare. But those types of things matter.
And Ms. Jenkins, I'm cheering because, we have mobile dentistry where we provide dental care for seniors. And
Yes.
we do red carpet treatment. When after someone gets their teeth cleaned, we do like a lip prophy or lip massage where we put
Nice.
something on their lips and we rub their
Yes.
hands with lotion. And people like that.
Mhm,
When I was driving the other day and I was going to one of my facilities, it was about
mhm,
6 o'clock in the morning. And
mhm.
Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and Burger King was right in the same area. The line was wrapped around Chick-fil-A. And every
Oh,
time I see that, I always pray. I say, God, let me have a Chick-fil-A type of business. Before I even
yes.
had my business, I prayed for that. I wanted nursing homes to be lined up waiting for me. I wanted to be able to tell nursing homes, we have a
Yes.
waiting list. But the
Yes.
thing with Chick-fil-A, before they closed the inside, they were already mastering their drive-through skills. The Chick-fil-A
Already.
by me had closed their drive-through off for a year prior to COVID because they were redoing their drive-through lines. And
Yes.
but inside, a lot of the Chick-fil-A's here in Florida, they have mouthwash in the bathrooms. They have these
Yes.
warm hand wipes. Chick-fil-A
Wow.
has customer service, and a lot of people
Mhm.
don't realize that. Please and thank you and yes and no, that goes a long way.
A
People think that
long way.
Southern hospitality, but hospitality period goes a long way because we have choices where we spend our money. And what I'm not
That's
going to do is
right.
spend my money when you're not being nice to me. So
No, no.
when my staff, when we're approaching our greatest generation in the nursing homes, we treat them like they've been on earth a substantial amount of time and they
Hmm.
deserve that respect. And
Yes.
that's what Chick-fil-A does. They just say please and thank you. Sometimes your
Yes.
order is wrong, but not a lot. Not a lot. And they you don't have
Not
to beg
often.
you don't have to beg for extra sauce either. But I think that's what you have with your business. You've learned how to roll out the red carpet, and you mentioned that you've learned how to open the door for seniors or go to the door of their appointment and
That's
hold
right.
it for them. Help them in the vehicle. Let them know that the car has been wiped down and it's COVID safe. How many do you have a fleet? How many vehicles do you have in your business that you started this year? Oh my gosh, I'm so
That's
excited.
That's an excellent question. And we are currently asking those people who would like to have a very nice write off at the end of the year. We're looking for donations for cars, for vehicles, for vans, that type of thing. We were just approved by Medicare and Medicaid to be able to transport those beautiful seniors to and from their destination. So we need those types of vehicles. And we currently have part-time workers. My husband, who is in charge of the drivers, because our drivers are certified drivers. They've got clean backgrounds. They
No.
know Medicare. I mean, they know how to CPR and that type of thing. So we have all of that in place, but we are in need of vehicles. We are in need of those gently used cars that will be able to transport our seniors to their destination. Yes, we started the company in April. We officially opened September 5th. That was our official launch day. And it was such a beautiful event. And that's when seniors were allowed, those that are private pay or those that are in need of the Medicare or Medicaid, they were actually able to make an appointment. They can go on our website, and it's very easy to clock in there and just say, this is where I need to be on such and such a day, that type of thing. But vehicles, yes, definitely in need of.
How can someone get in, how can someone get in contact with you?
Well, they can first of all call us at 904-345-0572. That's 904-345-0572. And they can go to our website, which is www.meekinsseniorshuttle.com. And they can email us at info at Meekins Senior Shuttle. It's very easy to contact us. We're always available. We promise that we are prompt in receiving calls or returning calls, because that's another thing, that customer service, people need to know that you are reliable, that you are reliable. Yes. And that's definitely missing today.
And as we age, that's so important that we know that we can depend on something,
Yes.
because we don't need to be unsure about, transportation or doctor's
That's
appointment or
right.
anything, especially in a time like this. But what the service that you're providing, Mrs. Carolyn, is amazing and is so
Thank
needed for
you.
many seniors. And thank you for what you're doing. Now, you have put so much on us today. You've left so many nuggets. The first nugget you left is that it's never too late to believe in love. And
Never.
if there's someone for you, just believe in it and always stay prepared, because I can see that you snatched right now. You is totally snatched. So you wasn't probably looking crazy when you met Mr. Meekins. Okay. So
That's
just
right.
keep that,
That's right.
keep that, keep that together. And just, the second thing I would always say is seek God face in all of your ways. This is not a
Hmm.
Christian thing, but what's in you going to come out. And I believe in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will
Absolutely.
direct your path. So he'll put
Hmm.
you in the path of who needs to find you. Because I'm kind of old school. I don't believe as women we need to be hunting down nobody. And the
Um,
third nugget that you dropped on us, Mrs. Meekins, is that you're never too late to start a business. You've been a serial entrepreneur your life.
mhm,
You've had so many businesses, and you just started one a year ago at 69 years old. So
mhm,
many people are so afraid to start. So I want to ask you two questions. One,
mhm,
I want you to speak to the person that's over 60 that has something in them and they want to start. I want you to speak to that. And number two,
mhm,
I want you to give we always ask our guests to leave a golden nugget for
mhm,
the younger generation to store
mhm.
away and always remember as we go through this journey in life, because the richest the richest place is the graveyard. Les Brown says that. So we want to go away empty. Not that me and you getting out of here no time soon, unless it's the Lord is
Exactly.
will. We want to, when we do transition, we want to transition empty. So what,
Mhm.
to answer those two questions for me.
I have a T-shirt that I wear, and it actually says "Die Empty." It actually says "Die Empty." Yes, and I believe in that. I would say to anyone that is over 65, anyone that's over 55, anyone that comes into a senior category, remember this: we know that time wastes. It really doesn't wait for us. It just goes, it's going to do its thing, it's going to move on. But remember that opportunity doesn't come all of the time. If you have an idea, if you have, all you need to do is to do it. But opportunity is not always knocking. And it doesn't owe us to come around again, to
It don't.
revolve. It doesn't owe us that. It doesn't know us that. So I say be ready for whatever may come. Dreams deferred are not dreams denied. 35 years ago, I was thinking about a transportation company. And here I am, these many years later, launching, going full force, full speed ahead, and uh, it is coming to fruition. Now, I will also say this: when you choose to move, I want you to know it's going to take all of you. Don't think it's going to come easy. It is not. It is not. You have to have a level of stick to itiveness that is unparalleled. Surround yourself with people who are not just going to pump you up and say, "Oh yeah, that's good," or that type of thing. No. Conversely, I need you to disassociate yourself from anyone who says you're too old. I wouldn't even do that. These are your golden years. These are the times that you're supposed to be sitting back, sitting on the sand, doing whatever, traveling. No, no. It's very easy to cut people off. You do not need that in your ear.
Well, but hold
And
on, Miss Meekins.
uh-huh.
I hate to cut in here,
That's
but
okay.
I need you to elaborate on cutting people off right there.
Okay.
Because I need, because we as women, now I know men are here, but women, we have a problem with that. So speak to that.
With women, it is amazing how emotionally tethered we are to people, and we have, because we're emotionally tethered to them. When it comes to business, we just cannot. We find it one of the most difficult things to do. But anything that is you're attached to that is dead, eventually is going to mess with your lifeline. It just is. The dead things, and by dead things I mean the negative people, the negative sayings, the negative thoughts. You have to you have to say to yourself, this is what I am full of right now. And in order for me to get to the next level, I must surround myself with people not like me, but people who are doing greater than me. You don't
Level
want to
up.
be level up, level up. You don't want to be the smartest in the room. You don't want to be the one that has all the knowledge. No, no. And if your circle is beyond you, listen. We want to be able to soar so that they are looking up to be able to reach us. We don't want to have to look down to that. No, and that does not mean that we have to be nasty or anything like that. But you have to be confident. Confidence is one of the things that most people in business don't have enough of, and that's why they leave it so easily. They, if they don't reach it here, or if someone says something into their ear, and they say, well, that's right, I am 68 or 69, whatever the number is. Yeah, I should be just relaxing. No, no. You can still speak to them. You can still have a dinner with them, but when it comes to that business, no, you can't invite them. They cannot sit at the table. Cannot. No, no. Now, to your second question, what would I leave to young people? I think the one thing I would tell, well, maybe two things that I would tell our young people is this: you don't know it all. Listen to wisdom. You don't. You may have a grand idea and you may have a great business plan, but you do not know it all, because trust me when I tell you, experience is expensive.
Ooh, hey. Oh,
Experience is
I love
expensive. And
yes.
you are going to need, it's going to take a village, not just of your peers, but you're going to need a village of those people that have gone before you in business, not necessarily your business, but in business, that can help guide you. You can avoid some pitfalls, you really can. And the other thing I would tell a young person is, don't defer the plan. Do it. If I could have done it earlier, I'm sure by now I would have been having a whole different conversation. But we know that God's time's got plan. We've got that. But I would say, if you've got some, go after it. Go after it. There are so many things available now that if you don't have the finances to back it up, there's so many programs, so many grants, so many that you'll be able to avail yourself to. So my most important advice to the youth would be, listen.
I love
Listen.
it. Mrs. Carolyn,
Yes.
you have been a wealth of knowledge. To all of my listeners, I hope that you had your purse open or your pocket and your heart open to receive all this expensive wisdom that you just got for free from this lady that's 69 years old, who's had businesses, who's married in her 50s and living her best life. She not going back and forth with none of us. She not. She living her
Hello.
best life.
Hello.
So I hope that you gleaned some wisdom from this conversation. Thank you, Mrs. Meeks, for joining Sonya and the Suave and Sassy Senior Show today. And we hope that you will come back and visit us again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sonia, and to the Suave and Sassy Senior family. It has been a pleasure being here with you today. It has been a pleasure just giving you whatever I can to make sure that you are on your Suave and Sassy journey. Do it.
That part, that part. Thank you. We'll see y'all next
You're more than
Thursday.
welcome.
Bye bye.